It's a pretty good argument, but that's just points.
Yeah. Yeah, my blood's up.
Or are you just happy to see me?
Haven't even started.
Yeah. Fuck, I really have to gonna go on the mic and defend Deni Avdija.
Hello and welcome to the Deep 2 NBA podcast. My name's Michael Holden Jeffrey and I'm joined today by the one and only Dante Boffa. Mr. Boffa, my man, how are we?
So good to be back in the chair.
And also joined by the one and only Lukas Petridis. Mr. Petridis, how are we?
It's okay to be back in the chair. Far out.
Already!
The energy. Completely unique energy today. No Sean Carroll. Dad's gone. Dad's away.
Is this our first us three?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
100%.
Wow.
Damn.
It only took 400 and something episodes.
Michael, how are you?
Yeah, good man. Yeah, really happy to be here actually. Happy to be witnessing history today.
Yeah.
Me and Lucas, we put thousands of miles on the odometer together, obviously. We put 1 mile on. It was a great mile.
It was a good mile, yeah. Very enjoyable.
I don't think you've even put miles on individually.
Just as a duo.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably not.
Ooh, yeah.
Probably not. Me, you, Sean, back in the day.
Yeah.
The early days.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
But me and you, yeah. Yeah, we didn't actually spend that much time together. I'm Dante, by the way.
Yeah.
Good to meet you.
Colleagues
Wish I could tell the
turned friends.
Yeah, like they say, don't make housemates out of mates, make mates out of housemates.
Wow.
Yeah.
Very good.
This guy's lived in a house before.
And you've done that process as well, I would say.
Yeah, I actually have only lived in apartments.
You calling your current place an apartment?
I actually don't know how.
Yeah, it's a bit of a weird space.
Should we dox you again?
No. That was awful last time. Yeah, this is a different setup, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because you guys is looking at just me and you got the garden, but I'm looking at there's so many angles that I'm looking at.
So for
Anyone's
context to
looking.
listeners, we're recording in Dante's meat shed, I would call it.
The Jack Shed.
Yeah, the Jack shed. Yeah. The Jack and Molly shed. Yeah. When I arrived here before both of you, it was full of herbs and tinctures.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a bit of potion brewing going on.
Yeah. No, it's good. It's created a nice energy.
You can see over there on the shelves. There's the can of the Eye of Newt that we got delivered for imported.
Wow, how much that set you back?
Yeah, well, you don't.
Did you get that on Black Friday?
You do not want to know. 500 Imperial crowns, man. That's my whole fucking month's project. It's a bit. Don't worry. There's not actually Eye of Newt on the shelves.
I spent 30 seconds looking for the
I was looking- I thought it was behind the monitor.
So, before we get into the meat and bones of the podcast, you boys have been watching Test cricket lately. Is what's been going around.
I think more importantly, I've been keeping up with Test cricket.
Yeah.
I haven't watched a second, but people care about it, which I think is very interesting.
Yeah.
I feel like this is the first time, at least maybe not existing fans, but the wider community is oh, what the fuck, I actually care a little bit about cricket. I just don't really know why. I feel like maybe they're making the players more personable or whatever the case may be, but it just feels like it's reaching wider audiences.
Well, I think this series, there's a couple reasons. One, it's England, and
hate them.
hate the fucking English. But the Ashes, yeah, it's the biggest. It's the biggest and best Test series in the calendar. Two, this English team, my fucking god, are they pieces of work. Have probably, some of the most unlikable guys on the team. Some really likable ones as well.
Who are the unlikable?
Well, Ben Stokes.
Yeah, we hate him.
my
Why?
God.
Why?
Ginger.
Yeah.
Who else? Do you know?
English. He just got this thing where whatever the result of the Test match, he's like, I think we did pretty well. And it's like, shut up, man. You got absolutely dog walked, on multiple occasions. So, I don't know, do you guys want me to explain Bazball to you, or is that...
I actually looked up Bazball today, because obviously I've been hearing about it for the last, 2 to 3 years since Brendan Baz McCullum took over as the England cricket team head coach. But I never really understood what baseball meant. And actually, it's in the... I understand it intellectually in the ether as a non-cricket fan. As sort of like a... You know, like a philosophy come tactic set. But actually, it just turns out it just means hitting the ball.
Yeah.
That's all it's about, is actually trying to score 4s and 6s.
Yeah.
Which feels like, is that really a philosophy? Like, we could just call that playing cricket.
Yeah, it's just...
Yeah, if the English invented in other countries, it's already existed. Because it's also to do it like quite aggressively.
It's just about batting aggressively. And playing very aggressively, and like being like, we're gonna try and put on as many runs as quickly as possible, and then we're gonna try and get you out as quickly as possible. Which, yeah, it sounds, especially to non-cricket fans, like the most obvious thing to do.
We're gonna try and score more points than you in the basketball game, and then we're gonna try and stop you from scoring as many points as us.
Yeah. So this guy's a bit of a Mike D'Antoni.
Yeah, seven overs or less. Glad that came to me. No, but like, you know, Test cricket, it goes for 5 days, right? Like traditionally,
not a sport.
It goes up to 5 days, and as both a batting or a bowling side, you're like, all right, we're just gonna attrition here. We're just gonna dig in, and then maybe we're gonna go for a bit of a flurry. And you know, it's about like, oh, they're gonna get tired because they're in the field all day. Oh, can our batters like outlast their bowlers while they have the new ball and all this stuff? Baseball just throws that all out the window. It's just like, we're just gonna try and do everything as quickly as possible. And then, like you saw in this test, it paid off, and then it didn't pay off, and then it paid off again, and then it didn't pay off again. Like,
in what? Pretend like I don't really understand cricket and didn't really see all the innings. In what ways did it pay off and then not pay off?
Well, in the first innings, they like collapsed basically on a really bowler-friendly wicket. Like the bowlers were going to get those wickets.
Yeah, Mitchell Stark 7 on the first day.
Exactly right. 7.
Sean told me that's the approximate 60 burger.
Yeah.
That's huge.
7 for 56 in like 12 overs, which is like... It's like if CJ McCollum dropped 47 in 25 minutes. Something like that.
What does a bowler's wicket and a batter's wicket mean? Does that mean the pitch?
Yeah. So the wicket's like very green, which means like the ball's going to keep going fast. It's going to keep going predictably. You're going to get some like I don't know. This is stretching mine.
I get it.
Yeah. And so like most Australian wickets are very bowling friendly because it's where our summers are hot and dry.
Yeah.
It's not like India where it's like, you know, it's humid. Nah, but it's humid and the boundaries are shorter and blah 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 blah. Anyway, and so like they got out, they collapsed, but like whatever team batted first was sort of expected to collapse in that context. But they did it at like what was their strike rate? It was like 5 or 4.7 runs per over, which is like really high for Test cricket. Like 2 would be good.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. And then we got out for less score at a worse run rate, and it was like, all right, well, we've lost this game because they are able to put on they're not able to stay in, but they're able to put the runs on. Then it looked like they were actually going to dig in because I think they were 1 for like 60, 70 something, and then they collapsed again. And then it was like, all right, but there's no, like, our batters were dog shit in the first innings. There's no way we can do it. And then Travis Head comes along.
Yeah.
Not only puts on the runs that we need, but does it at a faster rate than any of the English batsmen were doing.
And is Travis Head is he a top order batsman?
So he usually would bat about 5.
Oh, so he's a middle order batsman.
But like but he's like in a good way.
Yeah.
Like
he's like a Shohei Ohtani.
He's like he's like a 6th man.
Yeah.
He's like a Manu Ginobili.
Yeah,
he could start. For sure he could start, but you're bringing him off the bench specifically.
Nah, but it's a bit different though, isn't it? Don't you bring like more of a star in at that range?
The 4 and the 5. The 3, the 4, the 5 are more interchangeable than the openers, right?
Oh, we're talking about
positionless cricket.
In that they're the best batsmen, but like they might need good conditions to get their runs. So if that makes sense.
My understanding was that the 2 best batsmen go 1 and 2.
No.
And they try and stay in for as long as possible.
No, openers need to be able to weather the best bowling, the best fast bowling
So they're often defensive.
Yeah.
Batsmen.
So like when, Usman Khawaja and David Warner open, sometimes they would put on like 10 runs in the first like 10, 12 overs.
Yeah.
And then one of them would go on to make a good score.
Yeah.
Or they get out and they don't.
Yeah.
Now, this is another fucking great wrinkle to the. I can't believe we're still talking about this. This is great. A great wrinkle to this Test match is that Usman Khawaja, who's bloody 100 years old, he couldn't open in the first innings because he'd spent too much time off the ground because he was going to the toilet. And then,
oh my god!
So it was like you need to be on the ground for like half an hour before your batting innings started, but their bottom order collapsed so quickly that he wasn't on the ground. So then he didn't get to come open. Then our opener got out first over, so he didn't even get to come in at 3. He had to come in at 4, and by that time the innings was basically over
Because we had got enough runs.
No. This was in the first innings when we collapsed.
Okay.
Then in the second innings, same deal. I think he'd had back cramps. He's fucking ancient. Like he probably shouldn't be in the team.
Back cramps into his shit himself. That's the guy I want to start.
And so they're like, all right, fuck it. We'll just put Travis Head out. Like he's probably our most informed batsman, and he's also like heroic. Like he's won a World Cup for us. He's had great knocks in Test cricket before.
Is he also old?
Nah, he's like our third youngest player, and he is 31.
I hate to say the all word, but he's probably got aura, doesn't he?
He's got so much aura.
How old are cricket players?
Like Usman Khawaja, I will confirm
38.
it for you, but I want to say he's 38. He's 38.
So, but then
and we knew that.
So, is there like 22-year-olds that play for Australia?
Oh yeah, Sam Constas, who started for us in the Boxing Day.
All the Indians hated him.
Yes, yeah, because he fucking smashed Boomerang
I was in
around.
Nepal last year when I think that was happening, and there was I was
at the MCG.
I was walking up a mountain in Nepal, and there were all these Indian people also like walking, like mainly coming down the mountain. They were like, "Oh, where are you from?" And I was like, "Australia." And they were like, "Do you know the cricket scores?" I probably had that interaction like 10 times in one day. Like
So
probably like December 20 something.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Yeah.
No, he's like, I mean, thank God I'm the one with the laptop here. He's 20 years old, so he was 9.
You just don't say that these days.
He was 19 in the Boxing Day Test, and he has not held his place in the side because he's too reckless. He's a
reckless bowler.
No, he's a batsman.
He's a batsman.
Yeah.
Sure.
So he's like, do you know what a ramp shot is?
Yeah.
One of these ones.
Yeah. He was doing so many.
I love that.
He hit about 4 or 5 of them, and then he got out to one.
Seems like,
and it was like,
if you got out on that, it'd be like one of the all-time biggest dickhead moves.
Fully.
But are you saying getting caught or bowled?
Either.
No, I feel like bold is like, what are you doing?
What are you doing? Yeah.
But caught is like, oh, you probably thought there was no one there.
Nah, but it's because the parabola of the ramp shot is so high that it's like you have to clear the ground or someone's going to get to it and catch you, basically.
Yeah.
Wow, so they're talking about fucking parabolas in this sport.
Bloody hell.
A sport that goes
it's a thinking man's sport.
Sport that goes for 5 days and you need to get out a fucking protractor.
Yeah, but maybe this is the last thing we say about it. But the thing that I didn't like about this test, I mean, fucking awesome, we won. So good the way we won it. But like, it was over in 2 days. The whole point of Test cricket is you have it on in the background for 5 days, and you maybe watch like two hours actively a day.
Yeah. Riveting.
There was 16 hours of good cricket in that test, and that was it.
Yeah.
And then it was over.
Yeah, right.
And so they're next in Brisbane.
Yeah.
And the Ashes is best of 3, best of 5.
Best of 5. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So we're looking good.
So has it happened before that it's like one team wins the first 3 and then it's like it's fucking...
Oh yeah, we whitewashed them in 2011. We've whitewashed them a couple of times.
What's the vibe? Like they just fucking have to go to Sydney and like stand out there in the heat for 5 days and it doesn't fucking matter.
Yeah, and it's so good because it's like, fuck yeah, not only have we won the Ashes, but like we're now forcing these stupid English people to stand around in the sunshine.
Get sunburned.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
This is exactly like this current season of Love Island. This person just got booted out of the villa, and she made the show so hard to watch.
Shot.
And now that she's gone, she's been eliminated.
What's the Love Island ramp shot?
now that she's been eliminated, I actually just don't care about the outcome of the show. I was just so worried with her influence on the show, and now that her and her partner are gone, I'm just no longer. Now it's just like now I can just laugh at them all.
Right.
Yeah.
Ah, so it's good.
Yeah, it's a good thing.
yeah,
That's what
yeah.
I'm saying. When we whitewashed the Poms back in 11.
Wait, but you didn't want her to win, or you did want her to win?
I didn't want her to win. I didn't want her couple to win. But even more so, she was creating this divide between the two new bombshells.
Yeah.
And she was doing this like it was. I actually thought it was like probably a little problematic for TV. Like maybe it was something they could have, done a piece for and been like, hey, this is not the way we're supposed to treat people. And now that she's no longer in the show, it's like, oh, this is awesome. Now I can just go back. Because I was now I have people I want to win.
Yes.
And people I don't want to win.
Yes.
But now it's like, I can go back to just being like, what a fucking idiot.
Yeah. Because I think that's the only good thing about that show.
Yeah. When you get like, oh, bro, the two new boy bombshells, dumb. Bailey, fucking idiot. Holy shit, man. Basketball, huh?
Basketball.
So we're here today because you two have been historically disagreeing a lot.
Sustained.
Historically, and Dante, you said you put it quite well before the podcast started. You find some of Lucas's views quite vexing.
Yeah.
And Lucas, you find Dee's views to be inconsistent.
Oh, there's no consistency. He picks and chooses his favourites, but go on.
Yeah. No, I'm on your side for that half of the sentence.
What? Have you guys seen Imitation Game?
Yeah.
Starring Benedict Cumberbatch. I'm like the machine. And Dante's like the general who just chooses which boat to save.
Right. How do you feel about
Never
that?
seen it.
Well, you'll hate this part. The protagonist's gay.
Alright, so yeah, with Sean away this week, he wanted us to do a podcast and it seemed like the appropriate forum to maybe
Air some dirty laundry.
air some grievances and hopefully just argue with each other a little bit.
Yeah.
Because it's also you're both very eloquent and you're both very you're both very true to yourselves. So it'll be nice to see that in the flesh. Having said that, let's turn the vibe of the podcast sour.
Yeah.
That's the last nice thing we're going to say about each other. We've got two main topics here, and I'm hoping that they'll reveal some more topics because there's just got to be more.
Yeah.
Which I think we all agree.
We already
on that.
agreed there was one that has played its course, and Dante doesn't want to argue his initial point.
God, you're actually extremely irritating. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, is that wrong though?
Yeah. No, it's as usual to gross oversimplification. Because you only operate in the binary.
All right.
Marco is the one that's colorblind, but you impossible to see shades of grey.
Wow.
Let's touch on what that one was. That was Rudy Gobert. I had a pretty long-standing view that if you're the defensive player of the year, you at least need to be good at defending.
Yeah.
Now Dante's view, he took the opposite view. He said this guy's a great rim protector. Advanced stats per 36, etc.
My favourite stat.
And that was the one that we were talking about. Just so that we should probably led with.
No, well, since the can of Nutsai has been opened, your perspective on that was so low on Gobert's ability that essentially you were saying he's the worst defensive player in the world, and my perspective was actually he's a really good defensive player. Not to necessarily say that he's the be all and end all, but as you said, as a rim protector, he's one of the best that we've seen in the last 10 to 15 years. You seem to think that he belonged in the NBA G League.
Yeah, right. So you just said I, as usual, would make a gross oversimplification. That is, you said that and then made your Rudy Gobert point. My point about him was, you could have probably pointed to any point in his career to 20. Well, I don't think it was one year that he should have been a DPOY. You could always point to a player that was better at defending than him that year. He also played in an era where bigs had to become better defenders on the perimeter, and he never developed that part of his game. Now we're shit out of luck, and he still can't really defend on the perimeter. You know, I hate to put. I mean, I have this bullet in the chamber. Terrence Mann, you know.
Yeah, but that has such an outsized impact on I think your perception of him. And I'm not saying that like performance in the playoffs and like getting exposed in a like high leverage moment like doesn't matter, because if we're talking about someone being a great player, like you obviously need to show up in the playoffs, and in that game he didn't. But he's actually. For a guy that's 7'1" and who like was drafted in 2012 and grew up playing a style of basketball where the big didn't have to come out on the perimeter, and played in that way for the first 4 to 7 years of his NBA career, he's actually fine on the perimeter, and he's genuinely an amazing rim protector, or he was in his heyday. And rim protection is the single greatest defensive asset that you can have, and that has always, in the Defensive Player of the Year conversation, elevated certain players. There might be better defenders, but if you're better at the most important thing, then you are going to be in that conversation. So I think, off the top of my head, like, he's 4-time DPOY. Like, he's deserving of those. Maybe there was one like amazing Kawhi season in there where he won, or there was one like where there was another big like Triple J season. Like he could have from a couple of years ago. Like he could have done that. Like, but like he's good. He's actually great as a defender.
Well, I never I always thought he was a good rim protector.
You just said. At the start of this discussion, I have a long-held belief that if you're a Defensive Player of the Year, you should be good at defending.
Yeah.
Insinuating that he's not good at defending.
Well, no, okay.
Oh.
You also said I made my whole thesis off the Terrence Mann game.
Yeah.
Which is not, you know what I'm saying, dickhead. No, I've never said he's a bad rim protector. I've always also thought of him as a pretty good finisher, and he became a good rebounder at the end of his career. But there's like so many more mobile bigs that can like at least not drop on a pick and roll. I mean, when did Brook Lopez enter the league? I'm not talking to,
I want to say Brook Lopez 2009.
See, like, and it's not apples to apples, but like, he was a backup. A post-up big, and then he was just like, no, now I'm a really good pick and roll defending center, and I'm going to hit threes.
But he also, like, Brook Lopez, like, predominantly has had success in the drops. Just that when you're 7'2", you can drop and still affect the shot. Brook Lopez probably in his heyday was a little bit better coming out and like hedging on a pick and roll or whatever.
Yeah.
But there's not that many 7-4 players who you are like comfortable not dropping, particularly guys who are such great rim protectors. You want them to drop and you want them to stay close to the basket. The fact that they then struggle when they're drawn away is like would be like criticizing JJ Redick as a scorer because he can't finish inside. Like he's an amazing shooter. Like the fact that he can't get his shot off over the defender at the rim, like, doesn't detract from the fact that he's actually awesome at the things he's supposed to be good at.
But it makes him one-dimensional, which maybe is a criticism of Rudy Gobert.
Yeah, and that's fair enough. But if that one dimension is the most important defensive dimension, then if there was a shooter of the year award, JJ Redick would have won.
But I feel like that, like, the best shooter in the league is going to be the guy that has the highest 3-point percentage over whatever volume.
Yeah.
And then the best scorer in the league is the guy that scores the most points. So they're like, thereabouts. There's a pool that you have to kind of prove yourself and earn. These like this Defensive Player of the Year award I've just learned about is it's a pretty it's however many voters. Is it 100 voters making their own subjection on who the best defender is in the league? And I just think the league did evolve, as you said, during his career, and maybe in that first half, yeah, sure, he was like still the best at doing what we traditionally know a centre should do. But I just think that, you know, the game's passed.
But
as it has a lot of players and a lot of bigs especially.
Yeah.
But I think that award specifically is misattributed every single year, basically. Like in terms of what you're talking about, which is like, it's not given to the best defender. It's often given to the most obvious defensive player on the best defensive team. Like the four that Rudy won, his team would have been top 3 defense in the league, right? Like those Jazz teams might have been the best defense by quite a while.
And the other thing as well with those teams is, like, you look at the other defenders on those teams, they're not like, you know, stacked with like amazing other defenders. Like Rudy was kind of the anchor of those.
Man, he won it a year and a half ago.
Yeah, and that was the year that Jaren Jackson Jr. came second, I think, and he was like,
no, that was
Wemby.
Wemby came second.
Right.
Yeah.
Triple J must have been the year before.
Yeah, Triple J won it the year before. I think it was Triple J, Brook. I'm looking at it right now. Yeah. Rudy didn't receive a single vote that year.
Yeah.
But yeah, the Wolves had the best defense in the league that year, and I'm sure the Jazz had a top 3 defense in the league. 3 years.
Yeah, absolutely.
The 3 years that he won it then.
Yeah.
And then I think me and Sean have spoken about this on this very podcast. Like, it's just, and those 4 teams, their defense fell apart in the playoffs. Like a Rudy Gobert defense did not equal a good playoff defense for any of those teams.
And then also there was a common tactic of just like targeting him.
Yeah.
So I just think that is like fucking
it looks bad. It looks
well,
really
like
bad.
if it's like, oh shit, we're gonna lose this game, let's make Gobert defend.
Yeah.
Well, let's ISO him and bring him up and away from the areas where he wants to be. And then like someone like Kawhi, someone, you know, like a Harden, like these guys who are just like masterful ISO scorers. Yeah, he looked bad in the playoffs.
Yeah. I mean, Luka. Fuck, I was watching this Luka video the other day. That dude can flat out ball.
Yeah. But he has he's already like 99 overall, but he has like plus 10 on every attribute against Gobert specifically. Like he's just the Luka on Gobert montage has to be like 5 minutes long. He's like, hey, fuck you, watch this, bang, 40-foot 3.
I watched this. Oh, never mind. Alright, so
that was topic 0.
Did we end up like agreeing almost?
Yeah, and thank you.
Yeah.
But that is the one that we have put to rest.
Yeah.
And you're like, you know, I'm not handing either of you the dub in that situation, but like Rudy Gobert is not the player he is now, so it's so easy to be like,
I think something
that panda, and also no team had playoff success with Rudy Gobert. It just never happened.
I think one of the things that, or the error that I started thinking this was, I remember we also had a discussion about Joel Embiid in the bubble, and he was like, everyone was like, oh, not you guys, but just the wider thing was like, oh my god, he's scoring so many points, but his team can't win. And there was like, he was dropping so egregiously. I remember once he was against the Celtics, and the Celtics were like, well, we're just going to hit every single one of these pull-ups. And then it was like, not necessarily attacking Embiid, but attacking the coverage, because Embiid couldn't defend on the level, or even like, you know, make his drop a little bit higher. And it was like, shit, man, like, the league's done it. The league has made the transition to playing like this. So, I think, that should be rewarded. The players that can defend, you know, close to the perimeter.
Yeah.
But that's all.
Yeah. But, and you're right. No, and actually, I'll say one more thing. Like, tactically, like Nikola Jokic, also 7 foot tall. He actually just learned how to like get up in perimeter players, you know, lanes. Like he's not, you know, he's never been considered as good a defender as Rudy Gobert. But like he was like, all right, I'm just gonna do whatever I can at my size and athleticism to like be fine when, you know, I get switched on to by a smaller guard. And the Denver Nuggets have won a championship and have had routinely good defenses with him at center.
And the fact that you rarely see Jokic get like exposed defensively is pretty crazy. And like that's the whole team as well. Yeah. But still, that's pretty crazy.
Yeah, I do think as well, like the players, like the players, the defensive players that were on the Utah Jazz in those like Mitchell Jazz eras, like, you know, we're talking about like prime Royce O'Neal as like the best defender that was also on the team, like which is like pump the brakes. Like Gobert had to do quite a lot to hold that all together. Yeah, surrounded by inferior defensive players.
Definitely.
And I also think like in terms of the in terms of the conversation about like no team with Gobert ever had success, like he has never had like, you know, he made the conference finals with the Wolves, but like that's it. The Utah Jazz, like they never got out of the second round. Donovan Mitchell's the best player that he had ever played with in Utah, and Donovan Mitchell's never had any success either.
Yeah.
Donovan Mitchell,
Rudy Gobert.
The case exists for Donovan Mitchell as like a regular season like stats guy, and although he's had some amazing postseason games, he's never had any sustained postseason success or one single deep run. So putting all of the not the blame, but like the you know, the distaste of how that Utah era ultimately went on Gobert, like solely. Is that maybe if Donovan Mitchell was better, or if they had another guy who was definitely a top 10 player, like you know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it might be different.
Fully, and we'll get too philosophical if we keep talking about it. But like,
yeah, and I'm excited for the next one.
Those Utah Jazz, you know, teams that had the best defensive rating in the league, and it's like, well, there was like 1.5 good defenders on that team, so that's not real.
Yeah,
There was a good scheme, and Rudy Gobert was good in that context, and then you get to the playoffs, and
it's confirmation bias. You're looking at the numbers and saying, wow, these guys are really, really amazing, and then like you get to the playoffs and it's like, oh, like we're isolating like Bogdanovich, like 10 times a game. Okay, true. Like this guy's
maybe Mike Conley is a bit too old and small.
Yeah.
Much rather have him PJ.
Boom. All right. Topic number 1.
Oh, fuck.
And this was one of God, I can't actually even remember what I was doing, but I just remember not being on my phone at work, which is very unlike me. And yeah, coming home to about 125 messages back and forth
about this
topic. Marcin Gortat versus Myles. Insane that you've already spent so much thought on it, both of you, and that we're actually going to relitigate it and maybe go even deeper into it now.
Just before we get any further,
can you pass my drink bottle?
Exactly what I was going to say. Continue. This is just reading that as a headline is crazy to start.
It's so insane.
And just keep this in mind. I am a Wizards fan. Marco, continue.
No, so like why? Why did you start arguing about this?
Well, I'll just, I mean, I can answer that question and offer like an opening statement.
I'll go through the particulars, but answer the question.
I can do that in one fell swoop. What initially struck me as literally crazy is that the position that Lucas has adopted is that not only is he some kind of Myles Turner sycophant, where he thinks that the sun shines out of Myles Turner's asshole, but he also thinks that Marcin Gortat was so shit. And I want to be clear, I'm not arguing that Marcin Gortat is a better player than Myles Turner. What I am arguing is that to say that Marcin Gortat was not a really good player and then to say that Myles Turner is a really good player are mutually incompatible views. And so that's kind of the germ of this all, is that Lucas was saying some crazy stuff in the group chat, and I attempted to pull him up on it.
Before I give you the right of return, let's just talk about Marcin Gortat and Myles Turner for a second and their respective careers, because they're actually probably, when all is said and done with the NBA, when the Earth is a cinder block,
two of the best bigs ever.
Nobody's gonna think about these guys.
Yeah.
So Gortat over his career averaged 9.9 points, 7.9 rebounds, 1.1 assists on 55, 15, 68 shooting. Myles Turner over his ongoing career, 14 points, 6.8 rebounds. Get those rebounds up, buddy. 1.3 assists on 49, 36, 77 shooting. In terms of accolades, Marcin Gortat, 9th in Sixth Man of the Year in 2011. We love that stat.
He was going wild.
He was an absolute bucket.
He was a great backup.
Turner has had two top 10 DPOY rankings, which, you know, we've just spoken about how useless that award is, but nothing to sniff at. in terms of playoff pedigree, Gortat was in that 2009 Orlando team. Was 2009? Yeah.
Yeah, but he wasn't playing.
He was playing like 11 minutes a game.
He was legit rated like 58 on 2K because
Yeah.
me and Aless used to make fun of him and be like, the Polish hammer is so shit.
And then he's had a couple second round exits with the John Wall Washington Wizards. That's correct. That's correct.
Wait,
Lucas.
the John Wall Washington Wizards had a couple of second round exits?
Yeah.
And then Myles Turner, I mean, like
Where to begin?
so many 8th seed first round exits with that era of the Pacers, and then just like an important player in this year's finals run. A pretty
What's the finals run?
huh?
What the hell? Starting center. Wait, what?
just let me keep going. And then I've just put
Conference finals the year before.
I put a few other tidbits here. I wrote Gortat iconic non-stats sheet guy, which Lucas reacted with face with tears of joy. What I meant is like the Gortat screen has entered modern lexicon. He was this, he's a great role man who never needs to touch the ball to get the bucket.
Get his
like he's just fully but he's bringing the other center out of the game to help the ball handler. And then probably his position, the type of player he is, was fully redundant by the last 4 years of his career.
Less.
You reckon less?
Less.
Okay.
Two.
Let's go two. And then Myles Turner's kind of the opposite in terms of he's what the modern center should be. He can shoot and protect the rim. Those are like the kind of two complementary things. It's like, all right, he's not gonna. If you're a role player, you're not ruining the spacing on offense, and you're doing the thing the center is supposed to do on defense.
Yeah.
Maybe nothing more. And then also he's maybe never quite lived up to the kind of the pedigree of player that maybe you want him to be.
Yeah.
So Lucas. So he immediately contradicted himself.
Yeah.
Contradict myself.
You said, how can you how can you see the value in Myles Turner but not see the value in Marcin Gortat? But I'm not here to argue that Marcin Gortat is better than Myles Turner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But what are we talking about? No. You go on then.
So I think maybe my main one for this is how have you possibly found more positive things to say about Marcin Gortat over your basketball watching career than Myles Turner? If Myles Turner, if you're saying he's better than him, how are they not?
Which I'm not. Which I made clear.
All right. That's fuck. I don't even know which avenue to go down.
Well, we got time. But in my opening statement, I said I'm not arguing that Marcin Gortat is a better basketball player than Myles Turner.
So you think Myles Turner is a better basketball player?
So that's what I'm saying. Yeah. No, that's what I'm saying. I'm saying you're also saying that Turner's better than Gortat. So I think maybe it's just there's two things. I think one, it's also the thing I was saying about Gobert is that Turner is, evolving. He did evolve with the league. He got to come in a bit later, so he did just kind of see the path that he was on. And he's been a really useful player throughout his career in the ways that a center has needed to be useful, in the modern league. Also in those counting stats, I don't know if you mentioned the blocks, but I feel like that's a pretty...
Yep, you're right.
That's a pretty big one. And then also...
Mea culpa.
The 3-point percentage. Myles Turner is a historically efficient 3-point shooter in the playoffs. 45% from 3, not this most previous year, but the year before. 35% last year, pretty good for a center. This is probably the first and last time people will ever compare Marcin Gortat to Myles Turner. They couldn't be more unalike. But yeah, I don't know. I think that's my main argument is surely if Turner's better, there's got to be some parts of his game that you like. But I feel you really got to shine them the magnifying glass on Gortat's game to find the positives. But Turner's kind of find you.
Yeah, I mean, I there are obviously elements of Turner's game that I really like. He's one of the most efficient 3-point shooting bigs of all time. He's a great rim protector, 100%. It's not even a question. Pretty much every season he's been the Myles Turner that we know and love. the five to six previous seasons to this one, he's been a top 20 rim protector at the bare minimum, and some seasons he's been he led the league in blocks once, I think.
Twice. Yep.
So he's up there.
Sorry,
he also has.
He also led the playoffs twice.
Yeah, but did he play 4 games?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh shit! Sorry, I was also looking at Gortat's playoff stats.
Yeah, no, I'm not going to take... Yeah, even though he got 4 blocks per game in the 2020 playoffs for the Indiana Pacers, playing 4 games for that Indiana Pacers team does not mean you led the playoffs in blocks.
Yeah, that's fair. I just saw the bold. Sorry, no, keep going.
Myles Turner has so many warts in his game. He's a historically bad rebounder for a guy of his size who plays the position that he does for as much time as he does. And he has, whilst yes, his game has really developed outside the arc. He has a pitiful inside game. He's a bad finisher. He's never developed a middle game, despite an over reliance on trying to post up and kind of trying to fade away even when he's matched up on smaller guys. He's got the DeAndre Ayton disease, but he doesn't have the touch. And let's talk about the Gortat of it all. I feel like he was, and I'm not looking at the stat sheet here. I feel like he was a 13 or 14 and 10 guy for probably 5 or 6 years between his last few seasons in Phoenix and the first kind of 4 seasons that he was in Washington for. You're making a face at me I've got that wrong.
No, I'm making a face like a big. Myles Turner was an 18 and 12 guy that one game.
What? I'm talking about 5 or 6 consecutive seasons of this guy's career, and you're dismissing it like it's one game. That's not an aberration. For that period of time, Gortat was one of the most efficient pick and roll big men. He was one of the most efficient inside scorers. He pretty much was, in both of those teams that he was in, he played with an amazing point guard whose game was kind of predicated around the pick and roll, and Gortat allowed the rest of that offense to kind of develop. It was the 1-5 pick and roll, and everything came from that. That those teams are running offensively. The end of the era Nash Suns, and then the Wizards with John Wall. That was so valuable. His skill set was so valuable, and he was producing 13, 14, 15 and 10 for those seasons with genuinely good defense in an era when you needed to be a good post defender. He still was. He wasn't out of position, he wasn't kind of getting caught. And for that period of time, those 5 or 6 years, he was a really good center. And if your center on your team was Marcin Gortat, you could have genuine playoff aspirations. If you start the season and it's that guy's your 5, it's you don't have any problems. Is he an all-star? Is he the next tier below? No, he's not. But I think you underappreciate his skill set and his ability to produce. And I think then the counter side to that with Turner is he's not that good, Myles Turner. And that's what I think really struck me about your kind of perspective on it, is that it's the two things. It's the counterbalancing of what I perceive to be diluting Gortat's achievements and skill level and impact, and then overrating Myles Turner's impact and skill level.
Yeah, but how? But we've seen their careers. How could I possibly be overrating Myles Turner when he has helped a team get as far as they've gotten? And he's also you brought up he's a 3-point shooting, great rim protecting big man who is a little more mobile than some other centers we've spoken about tonight. And Gortat, no, I'm definitely harsh on Gortat. I've just seen him drop way too many passes. Mm-hmm. The Gortat screen, he does get credited with the screen that a lot of people were doing.
Yeah.
Like maybe it was called the Gortat screen because there wasn't much else he was doing.
No. And like how can you be rating, like you said, like how can you be overrating Turner when he has been starting center on a team that have gone to back-to-back conference finals and an NBA, and then they're within one snapped Achilles of literally winning the championship.
Yeah.
Obviously those are greater achievements than anything that Gortat kind of came to. But like, has Myles Turner, and I'm asking this like off the top of the dome, has Myles Turner been a top pick the number center in any season in his career? And
I would say
there's a compelling case like no. 6, 8, 10.
10. I think he's been at least at 10.
Yeah.
Throughout his career.
Those seasons, like say that it's 10. Those seasons with Gortat, the early part of his Washington career and the latter part of his Phoenix career, he might have been the 13th best center in the league. So what we're really talking about is like, in the context of the time, we're talking about guys who are broadly comparable in terms of their like standing in the league and their like positionality and the way that they relate to the other players at their position. Less so in terms of their skill set and like what they can do. Like, Myles Turner would cook Gortat if they played 1-on-1. But like that's kind of the way that I'm viewing it. It's like Gortat was just like a fucking good starting five for like the whole time that he was a starter, basically.
But
and Turner is also a good.
So do you reckon that maybe they're more comparable to what the league was asking for from their position?
Yeah, that's kind of the crux of my argument is that like take away like the fact that like Turner is a much more skilled player largely because he's come later. Yeah, they're not that. There's not a big gap between them in terms of their like impact and relative impact and like where they stand in the league. And that's what really struck me is like this simultaneous like dismissing Gortat and like really buying into the Turner stock. Like Turner's a good player. He's not in my opinion, he's not a great player. Gortat for those 5 years was a good player. So where broadly speaking, it's not apples to apples, but like it's citrus to citrus.
Yeah, okay.
I'll take that. We're doing lemons and limes, like.
Yeah. I think the thing that has struck me the most about just any. I just look at the Washington team that Gortat was the starting center of, John Wall famously was the starting point guard of, and they like just what Wall had around him was pretty crazy. I mean, you've been through the Bradley Beal experience, and you had the mature Bradley Beal. Like you had the Bradley Beal who's a father now. We had the 22-year-old Bradley Beal.
Yeah.
Otto Porter, after he was a Washington Wizard, started 14 games for the rest of his career. Markieff Morris, I think, was pretty much immediately a buyout guy. Marcin Gortat, his production post-Wall injury in 17-18 versus pre is fucking insane. And then he moved into the Zubats role before Zubats in Los Angeles, where he would start each half. So it's just like, I think just seeing John Wall's career, which was never like that's kind of the basis for all, like what I think about that Washington team. Seeing what he did and the value he added, and then immediately all of those players kind of fell off a cliff for better or for worse.
Well, except Beal.
Yeah, but like then Bill was like the 30 and 52 tank commander.
Yeah, but he averaged 30.
Yeah.
2 years in a row.
Yeah, but like he's never had team success since then.
Yeah,
and you could almost point to him as being part of the reason.
Well, he averaged 30 that first year and didn't make the All-Star game because they were so bad.
And then would you say that he was like enhancing what the Suns were doing last year?
No, absolutely not.
Yeah,
absolutely not.
Yeah, I just don't think there's like, he's not as plug and play. And then maybe that comes back to the Turner point: is that Turner is plug and play, like. And maybe Gortat was the same in his era. Maybe
he 100% was, because that's exactly what happened. Is that like Steve Nash was done.
And we were kind of like, oh, well, we don't need this great pick and roll big now. Like, we're going to look somewhere else.
No, but
and then
I'm
he
saying...
was shipped off to Washington as, like, essentially as an afterthought for a couple of seconds. And then, like literally plugged and played with a young John Wall.
But I'm saying if we're talking about Turner, Nash goes or Nash stays, you're still happy with Turner being your 3 and D center.
For sure, but I think like in the context of the relationship to the point guard, like Turner's value as an offensive player is reduced when he's not playing with Tyrese Halliburton.
Yeah.
He's playing with a guy who's on those levels of a Wall and a Nash as like an offensive engine who's using the 5 for those specific purposes.
And like, let's even like he's been pretty average offensively this season. Like he's been hitting his shots, but like he's
he's always kind of had like open open threes, and then like when he does decide to go inside, like you're gonna get enough of those. But he's just addicted to those disgusting little 8-foot hooks and turnarounds over a 6'8" guy. And it's like, bro, go. And go to the rim, and I'll tell you one thing: they didn't call him the Polish 8-foot turnaround. You know.
No, they just call him Myles.
Mentality.
But I think that's more reflective of the league as a whole. Like, there's so many bigs that just don't take care of that. Like, that just don't back down whoever they're playing against.
Which is crazy.
Yeah,
you're huge.
There's no way.
Literally.
There's no way.
Hey, guy.
Even if you don't practice it, there's no way you can't do it.
Yeah.
Just do it.
Yeah.
I had one other thing I was gonna say, but I've misplaced.
It was very funny when you were narrating yourself looking up Marcin Gortat highlights.
Wait, what was I doing?
You were just like, wow, I'm gonna look for Marcin Gortat highlights on YouTube.
Oh no, it was John Wall highlights. My god, it's actually crazy, man. It's crazy to see, like, bro, talk about fucking room service. No one needed to move. Otto Porter was the best shooter in the league, bro. Otto Porter was the best shooter in the league. Are you kidding me? What the hell? Marquise Morris was a starter.
I mean, like Otto Porter, that when he like, I want to say Otto Porter's last 3 seasons in Washington, good. Who's shooting it? 100% was starting with like a 4, and then probably was followed up with like a 2 after that. I reckon he was taking them.
There was a year where it was a 4, and then followed by a 4.
Yeah, Otto Porter was taking them.
Man's name is Otto.
And Bradley Beal was that's another one of my like bugbears is like that Washington team as like underrated shit overall.
Did he get really injured at the end of his career as well?
The middle,
the middle.
Yeah.
And there was this whole subplot of like when he was leaving Washington, the Kings were going to offer him like 4 years, 100, and this was in like 2018.
Yeah, that's right.
4 years, 100 was like, oh my god, like that's like max money.
Yeah.
16, 17, and 17, 18. Sorry, he averaged 44% from 3.
Yeah, that's nuts.
Between those,
that's
across
pretty
those
good.
2 seasons.
That's pretty good.
Missing 5 games, 7 games total.
7 games total, far out. Yeah, he really had the who was that guy that from the fucking
John Selmans.
That guy from the Warriors team.
Oh, Henry Cassidy.
No. The guy from the Warriors team a few years ago that was like fucking great role player, and then like just fucking went to Toronto and like never ever played another game again. No, not Otto Porter. Although it's clocking now that
that's exactly what happened.
No, there was someone else. There was another guy that was like fucking like, you know, like the 7th or 8th guy and like really crucial, and then he's fucking left, got injured in like legit China.
What did Gary Payton Jr. went to Portland and never played for them, then came back to Golden State and just plays every game for them.
Am I thinking of Juan Toscano Anderson?
Oh Jesus!
Potentially, but there's no way you use him in the same
I don't think he was that.
Who am I thinking of?
That's funny.
I don't know. Maybe I'm thinking of Otto Porter.
Well, maybe
that one.
Nico Mannion?
Maybe we bridge the gap a little bit more on the Myles Turner and Marcin Gortat chat on that one. But I do think that maybe generally if the player is better, then we should have more positive things to say about them than negative. Like if we should have more criticisms of Gortat than Turner.
I disagree.
Okay, wait.
Shock.
Wait,
Hold on.
hang on. Before I forget, the thing
I have a thing, but no, you say
the
yours.
thing I wanted to say about Turner was that he's less context dependent, and I think that's kind of what I'm looking for in most players.
I don't know that I agree with that though.
But like a 3-and-D center, a 3-point shooting, rim protecting center is going to be more useful on 30 teams.
I guess like Gortat's context is like gone now.
Yeah, there was no one in 2013 who was doing.
Yeah.
If Myles Turner was playing in earlier, they'd be like, wow, this guy can shoot threes. That's awesome. Like
The context of Gortat was that like there were all of these guards that needed to have that exact kind of guy at the 5 to unlock their game and make the whole rest of the
and then guard the other 5s.
Yeah. So the context was like that he was the right player at the right time for those teams.
Yeah.
Okay, and maybe that's the same about Turner.
Yeah.
The one thing I'll say, maybe there's more to praise and to criticize about Myles Turner. Like there's more, there are more issues with his game, but his game is ultimately better.
I think I agree because like there's so many like bugaboos about like this guy could actually be an All-NBA player, but he actually just kind of sucks at the things that you would expect him to be good at, and it's like that is where the frustration comes from, because whilst you are like an amazing 3-point shooter for a 7-footer and you are an incredible rim protector with no caveats, like Myles Turner should average 20 points a game every single season because he's skilled and big enough to do it, and he just doesn't because he has like some mental defect where he can't do it.
Well, he needs to be a better rebounder as well.
And the rebounding as well.
That's insane.
You
That's
can't be averaging less than 7 rebounds a game as a 7-foot guy.
And
it's just
Aaron Nesmith is playing. Oh no, Pascal Siakam. Sorry, but like like a guy under 6'8" is playing at the 4. Not like
You're not Twin Towers and Steven Adams is taking all the rebounds from you.
Yeah, exactly right.
I guess the points thing isn't really the thing for me. Like, looking at a guy who's averaged 10 shots a game over his career and just been efficient in them, I think that's very appealing. Like, it's just, it kind of... I think something hidden in that is, like, he doesn't demand the ball.
Decision making...
But, I'm not...
Touch around the rim.
Yeah.
You should be better at finishing as a center as well.
Yeah. But that's league-wide.
Yeah, that's fair. All right, should we dip our toes into this last topic? We've done the pod. Like,
Now it's time to talk about Israel versus Palestine.
Who we got?
You won't believe this.
So is this something... sorry, actually, would you like to introduce it?
No, well, so we're going to talk about Deni Avdija, who has been a huge bugbear of yours since he got drafted to your basketball team.
Oh, I've been a huge fan since
7th overall. But maybe became like the avatar for some of your animosity towards the Washington Wizards drafting and development process. Yeah. Is that fair to say?
I think so. And I would say he's been a pretty bad player over his career. This year he's been unbelievable.
Yeah.
Like, obviously incredible.
Right. Okay.
But I didn't know that this was, like, I didn't know that Dante was like a huge fan.
No, again I'm not. Right? Actually no. That's I am a big fan. I think Deni Avdija is like really good, and I think that he has been really good since his last season in Washington. And I think he took like amazing steps forward like last year in Portland, and he now obviously is playing awesome. And he has like a genuine, like, he's gonna be on the fucking Bleacher Report list of like all-star dark horse candidates.
Yeah. That's this year, right?
Yeah, that's this year.
Yeah. And let the record show, I've been thinking this for 6 years.
Yeah.
Rather than the last 18 years. So I can also say he's played well this year.
I've been a fan of him since his last season in Washington as like a role player, and also in opposition to your like kind of perspective of that he's like shit. I've been saying like no, he's actually not. He's actually good. And now he's in a bigger role and he's like putting up numbers that's like, I think, divorced from the context of where our disagreement started from, which I think could be more accurately conveyed in like the last season and the season before. So his last season in Washington and his first season in Portland. You saying that he's shit and me saying actually he's good.
Okay.
And well, so again, I think good for context, Lucas. Part of your thing has always been like, does Deni Avdija contribute to a good basketball team? Like, does he contribute to winning? Does he contribute to like what the team is trying to achieve?
Yeah.
This season, so we'll go through this quickly. He's averaging 24.9 points, 6.4 rebounds, 5.4 assists. That's really good.
Yeah.
It's pretty much on the same efficiency, like his career-long efficiency. So like he is taking more shots.
Mm-hmm.
He's getting to the line at an equivalent rate to as he has his whole career. So like you could say, all right, well you're getting more opportunity. Portland have had heaps of injuries. Like they've looked, you know, everyone like lots of people were very high on Portland coming into this season. They're 8-10. Drew Holiday's missed time.
Their coaches in the mafia.
Yeah. They're sorry. Read this yesterday. There's
their coach is now in jail.
There's plenty of reasons for them not to be as good as people maybe hoped for them to be. But yeah, like he's just completely positioned himself as their best player, maybe their most important offensive player. Now, I've definitely always been don't like Deni Avdija very much. Just maybe a bit, as well as kind of like the woes of his early career in Washington. Eye test Israeli, like, you know.
He's got an uphill battle.
Yeah, like it's always going to be difficult for me.
Yeah,
you know, to accept that he's good, but like. Yeah, I just if this Portland team does anything for the rest of this season and he keeps up this level of play, it's pretty hard to argue against.
Yeah.
But Lucas.
So I've formed this opinion over 5 years.
Yeah.
This year aside, like if he has a good year, and then I'll be more, you know, I'm more than happy to say he's playing really well.
For the purposes of this discussion, I'm prepared to like let's strike this year from the record.
And I'll just say that I'll just say I forgot to say this earlier. You have been like far. I think Deni Avdija is pretty good, publicly and verbally since, as you said, his last season in Washington.
Yeah.
So I think that's the good context for it is you've thought Deni Avdija was good for 2 years that Lucas didn't.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we'll just do a quick timeline. We draft Deni. I'm really happy with what I see in the pre-draft film. Now, we then play him kind of out of position. Oh, not out of position, but out of role. I really wanted him to come in and be like a playmaker and run the break. It was pretty quickly apparent he couldn't do that in the NBA in his rookie year. And we did just kind of put him into more of this like half-back flank role, for lack of a better term.
That's
like,
good.
You just do your thing, just go be an energy player, you know, be a 3-and-D player, but not for right now, for 4 years from now, because you can't do that. And then we kind of advertise him as a good defender. I think we shot way too early on that. I think maybe the thing with Deni is like, it's just like, it takes him an extra year on top of like what every other player does. Like usually players have that year 1 to 2 leap. Deni had the year 2 to 4 leap, you know. And it's just like he's on this like delayed path, and he's still like pretty like very young.
He's 24,
25.
Happy birthday, Deni.
Hang on, I might have been basketball reference. Yes, he's 24 actively.
Yeah.
But as of his basketball reference,
far out. Do you guys know where he was born?
But yeah, I think there was also another something came out when he had signed his extension, and
came out. Never good. Never good.
And they were talking about Deni, and they were like, what excites you about Deni as a defender? And then they were like, they just completely curved around the question of anything that he was good at defensively and said, what really excites us about him is his appetite to defend.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, fuck, man.
That's a politician answer.
Yeah. So I just saw this really bad player for a few years just not make it a year 2 leap until year 4. And then I was like, alright, like, is this going to be what Deni is? Are we always going to be on this, like, delayed path? And it was also in this era where we were drafting these bigger-bodied forwards that just weren't really reliable. Like, there wasn't, like, you're not, like... Sure, Rui's, like, awesome at shooting threes now, but, like, far out, man. When he was defending someone one-on-one, I was like, shit, like, what are we doing? Like, this is so bad. Like, what's the long-term vision here? And then with Deni, I think, there was also just a full lack of reliability from him for the first few years of his career. Yeah, so I think that's my stance kind of generally, but I'm not sure if I've really made a point there, but that's fine.
Well, okay, maybe I can bring a point out of you. What do you think Deni's role in the NBA is? Like, what do you think best case scenario? Well, what do you think best case scenario is, and then what's Lucas' case scenario?
I think the way I saw the first few years of his career was like, if he can be like the 6th or 7th player on a team, if he can be the 7th or 8th player on like a champion, or the 6th man on like a 6th seed, then that would be like awesome. Like that would be way overs. But then like if he's going to be one of these like, or is he like a Zach LaVine? Like, is he just going to continuously play on a team that doesn't win? You know, that's then whatever your role is, whatever. You know, who gives a fuck? Like, awesome. Bradley Beal averaged 30 points for us 2 years in a row. So hang the banner.
Yeah. Is he a 1B secondary or primary playmaker on a playing team?
It's that's a hard expectation to factor in when judging like the totality of a player's career, because I like to answer the question about like what you think like Deni can be, like I think that he's probably like in an ideal scenario his like platonic fully maximized role is like he's an awesome third guy on a really good team. If he's
saying really good is like winning a playoff series.
Yeah, like deep run.
Okay.
Deep run. If you got 2 All-Stars and Deni, like that's a really fucking good team. He's there as the third guy. Like he's playing how he is in Portland. I think he's a really good player. It shouldn't be held against him if the 2 guys never get there above him that he would need to like make a deep playoff run. Like, you know, if the guy never plays in an environment that's conducive for his skill set to impact winning basketball, then we can't necessarily just hold that against him and say like, well, you played on teams that won 35 games your whole career, so like it's bullfuck. So I kind of think that it's an unfair standard to hold players to, when it is so kind of context dependent that it's like, well, if you get to go and play with like, you get drafted to a team or sign for a team that's got 2 All-Stars, then you can just be the third best guy, and it's like fucking great, this is so good. But if you're the third best guy waiting for your like co-stars to arrive and they never do, it's like, well, that's how you end up as Zach LaVine. Maybe not the greatest argument, because his skill set is not like that's not the skill set that you want as your like third best player. But Deni's genuinely is like, he's big, he's a good defender, he's a great rebounder for a wing, like he's a legitimately fucking awesome rebounder. And since
averaging the same amount of rebounds as Myles Turner this season.
Yeah, there you go. He's a good enough shooter. He gets inside. He's got a pretty good handle for a big. Like, be meant to see him in like a better place, like a better offensive system.
What teams recently have had 2 All-Stars and been like a middling team? Like, have the Clippers had one of those seasons where Kawhi and Paul George were All-Stars?
I can answer the question. It's the Phoenix Suns from last year.
Okay, and then
or
who
the
was
Phoenix Suns from the year before that.
And then who was player 3 in that scenario?
Well, like nominally last year it was Bradley Beal.
But who was it? Who was the streets? All the streets remember it as Royce O'Neal.
Grayson Allen, maybe. Kind of. It's a bit of a dire straits.
So are you saying
example?
Okay, right. But are you saying so? You'd say that'd be a bit of an indictment on Deni to say that's his like best case scenario is Grayson Allen.
No, but I said he's the number 3 on like a really good team.
Yeah, because they
last season weren't a good team.
Yeah. Weren't they 46 and 36?
36 and 46.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, and then the season before that, they like snuck into the playoffs or the thingo.
Man, Grayson Allen's having a great season.
but was that season before potentially the 46 and 36? I'm thinking.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe it was 46 and 36, and they like went in via the what's that fucking called? The play.
It was 49 and 33.
Yeah.
I think you I think you're just
sixth. So
yeah,
we
you
were,
finished
so
sixth.
we were, yeah.
It was that season. Everyone won 49 games, including
Yeah.
the New Orleans Pelicans.
So could you see him being the Grayson Allen in that context? Oh,
I just don't love the Grayson Allen comparison because Grayson Allen clearly is not a good third guy.
All right. Well, what about like Boston Celtics, Derek White?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Like 100,
Yeah.
like that's
Okay.
a great example. Yes,
Yeah.
I think that he is a high level starter on a good team.
Okay.
Wow.
A really good team.
I'm conceptually struggling with Deni Avdija being a Derek White, but maybe I'm behind the eight
obviously
ball.
different positions
No,
and
for sure,
skill set.
for sure.
But you know, in terms of like role as like someone who does like they're almost like inverted because Derek White is a defensive star who does like a lot of the right things on offense, whereas Deni like does a lot of the right things on defense and he's like a better offensive player than Derek White.
Yeah.
At least as a ball handler and creator. Yeah, like could we get Deni as like the fucking like I'm trying to think like
while you think,
yeah.
I think a lot of our discussion is hypothetical right now because we're kind of mapping what he's going to look like on a good team and in a winning situation. And I think that'll be proven once that happens. So I think this one's fun because we have it on record now.
Yeah.
And we'll see how it goes. But maybe the argument because I just don't think he's going to be impacting his value on a team. I don't think it's going to be a starting level player in terms of like a really successful team. I think it'll be like a really, really helpful, toolsy 20-minute guy. And I don't think that's a... Like,
he's already like a helpful, toolsy 30-minute guy.
Yeah, but on a bad team.
The Blazers they're not bad. They're just fine. They were better than expectations last year.
Yeah. They were 36 and 26, much like the
and
Phoenix
he's
Suns.
not playing with anyone who like can make things easy for him currently. He's doing since he's been in Portland, he's been better than he was in Washington, and he's been doing it with like a relatively middling roster, but particularly guard play. You know, who's there that's like fucking making it easy? Like no one.
Yeah. This Dame and Drew, I assume, is still out.
Drew's been
played about
playing,
half the season.
He's not the Drew from a couple.
Is Shaden Sharp even?
Isn't he on another team?
Shaden Sharp has been injured.
Yeah. No, he's played 14 games this season.
Oh, there's another Sharp.
But yeah, no.
Dayron.
No,
more different.
No Scoot Henderman.
Yeah. And remains to be seen whether that like is someone who can help him.
Drew was actually unreal before he got injured. Like he was he was the best player on that team.
Yeah.
Which is so bad if you're the Portland Trailblazers that the guy you got to like. How did he end up back there?
Man, okay. The Drew Holiday thing is something we've spoken about that I just think like he's just unbelievable. But he honestly in a much smaller way, he somehow finds himself in sort of like a LeBron role. In every team he goes to, it's like, I got to do it again.
Yeah,
like
right.
why do I have to be
do everything?
Yeah, I got told I was going to be the 5th best guy. Why am I the 2nd best guy?
Is he a Hall of Famer?
Oh, he's better.
Got to be.
I don't know.
One-time All-Star, 2-time champion, multiple-time All-Defensive.
That does sound pretty good.
Yeah.
He's also just, I don't know, there's going to be an optics thing where he is just better than
than the guys who are going.
Yeah. That has to play a part.
You played in the East for your whole career, and you're like a 7-time All-Star, and you're getting in, and like Drew Holiday's not getting in.
Oh, is Dame making the Hall of Fame?
Oh, 100%.
He made the top 75.
If he's did he actually?
Yeah.
Whoa.
Do you know, yeah. Really
If
bad.
Dame makes the if Dame's 100% a Hall of Famer, Drew's 101.
Damn, that's crazy. That's disrespect on Dame.
Volume 3. No, we won't go.
Lucas's head is exploding.
So then it's okay. So Deni will wait and see.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
I actually think fully, like at the end of this season, it'll be so clear.
Yeah.
Because if he keeps this up, and it's not just like if the injured players on this team come back and they're still fine, and he keeps this up, like he's improved on last year, then it's like, all right, I see where this is going.
Yeah.
If he goes back to what he was doing last season, which is like actually, I think pretty comparable to the Grayson Allen role. Like, he might have been the third best player on that team, and they were 36 and 46. Like,
I mean, like, what was he doing last season? Like 17, 7 and 5.
Yeah.
That, I mean, like
17, 7.
My
4,
argument is Deni Avdija good.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
But that team wasn't good.
Yeah.
That team was fine.
Yeah, they were fine.
Let's not talk about them like they were the
fine.
fucking Charlotte Hornets.
No.
They were competitive, like night to night, largely speaking.
Yeah, and it's a they just have the craziest roster.
It's
Like,
kind of nuts.
It's
and
built so poorly.
It's like it's the same thing with the Bulls in the East, where it's like the GM has been there for so long. Joe Cronin has been there for so long and has been extended like multiple times and got a fucking haul for Damian Lillard, like the ability to kind of like pick the direction that the franchise is going to go, like that, and this is what you decided was like the best way to do it.
Yeah.
Some people just are not
fully
up to it.
Nobody.
And then put Dame back as part of the team.
Like actually nuts, bro. How good to be Dame? It's like you can get paid $20 million literally just to rehab, and you were gonna have to rehab anyway.
Yeah, and you never ran from the grind. I got a trivia question for you guys that is personal to all of us. When was the last time you watched Zach LaVine?
Oh my god!
Are you talking years?
Yeah, definitely
last
not.
Season,
Definitely not this season. Definitely not last season.
No, actually, probably not last season. Yeah. He played for the Bulls for a bit last season, did he?
I traded.
He got traded mid-season.
Was that last year? Or was that not? Was that the year before? Was he fully on the
no way
Kings?
that was the year before.
Oh my god! Yeah. Oh no, he got traded mid-season.
Yeah,
he did.
Yeah, 40,
he played 42 games for the Bulls.
I mean,
But then again, I didn't watch the Bulls last season.
Say what you will. He's been pretty durable. I didn't watch. I don't think last season I watched a single Kings or Bulls game.
Yeah.
Last season I was extremely tapped out of basketball.
Yeah.
I'm much more tapped in this season.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
I think I've watched him play for the Kings this season. Actually, has he been durable this season? Yeah.
I don't think the only thing I can recall from the Kings this season is seeing Valanciunas light the beam. Oh no, that was last season.
He plays for Denver. Bro, Zach LaVine, 2-time All-Star.
Yeah.
That's kind of nuts, man. That just goes to show the East.
Yeah, well, but he's got a lot of points in weird seasons as well. The 2020.
And I remember going on the pod and being like, Zach LaVine's like a genuinely like great offensive player, which he was at that time. But it's just that specific brand of shooting guard scorer, skillful shooting guard scorer. If you're not like Ant, Booker, SGA, it's actually just less valuable than like anything else on the basketball court offensively.
Yeah.
Your 25 points is worth less than any other position's 25 points unless you're all NBA level.
His window, or every player's window, maximizing their like prototype is so small, and he's so past it. He just like if he ever like. Because how many winning seasons would he have had? One or something. If he ever wants to be part of a winning situation, he just has to move to the bench, man. Yeah, like he has to accept the bench role.
and accept like a lot less money.
There probably could have been like 3 or 4 seasons where if he played with a really good point guard, he could have gotten away with what he did.
Who? Yeah, I can't even remember who the point guard was in the 17 to 21 Chicago era.
No.
I remember Javon Carter was playing there. Yeah, Sato actually. That's a good pull. But I feel like Sato was like 6-man type operator.
I reckon Kobe White was there by then.
Kobe White, I feel like is 2020 onwards.
Yeah. So the latter years.
Yeah.
That's a great question.
Chris Dunn.
Well, fucking. Not Lonzo Ball.
Did Chris Dunn get traded with Zach LaVine too? Because they both played for the Wolves. I was big on Chris Dunn when he came into the league.
They got traded to together.
That we can fucking agree on. I thought he was like genuine gonna be a top 8 point guard.
Yeah. Like
absolute stopper. Like not much of an offense, like scoring game, but playmaker, and then he would just find like some mid-range shot.
He was like 15-7 with like fucking elite D.
Yeah, like supercharged Marcus Smart.
Yeah.
prime Marcus Smart as well.
Nah.
It paid off slightly in the long term.
I also...
He's had his little renaissance.
Yeah, in
Renaissance.
I can't do point guards because I was devastated when we drafted Devin Booker. Instead of taking Campaign, who went 1 pick.
Oh golly gosh.
We've been absolutely chomping at the nails.
Yeah, well, good chat, guys.
Yeah,
great chat.
So good that the most vitriol, if I dare say so, was put out in the one thing we didn't have on the run sheet.
Yeah.
I think that's where I wanted the pod to go.
Damn, Lucas accidentally humanized himself to me live on the podcast.
And yeah, did you guys learn anything about each other today?
Well, I learned.
Do you think he's consistent? Do you think he's vexing?
I learned that if time will tell, I'll be just right.
Right.
Yeah, he's pretty vexing.
Alright, we'll see you in the next one.
See you, Dante.
The Jeff Van Gundy Tribute Show is your fortnightly dose of the lighter side of basketball, hosted by me, Marco.
And me, Lucas. We take a more laid-back approach, talking about the NBA, the WNBA, FIBA basketball, culture, whatever tickles our fancy or grinds our gears.
The show is filled with great guests, classic gags, and a healthy dose of tangents in honor of the great man himself.
The Jeff Van Gundy Tribute Show, fortnightly on the Deep 2 Podcast Network.
You know, loves just talking about the league, certain things like that.
The NBA moves so quickly these days, it's hard to keep up. Shams and Woj are breaking stories left and right, but the Quick Time Out is right there with them to keep you informed on the latest NBA news. Stop in and let us break it down as it happens. Find the Quick Time Out on the Deep 2 Podcast Network.